3 years imprisonment or 3 years in jail or both. So it's a very serious matter. But we look forward to the financial statements which will be audited in 2024, 2025. So I think that matter is closed. Honorable members, we had our meeting, internal meeting this morning, and I reported that the governor had made a request that there is another very important meeting. You know, me and the governor, we have other responsibilities outside here. There is a meeting which he's supposed to be chairing somewhere, and he made a request that we allow him to attend that meeting so that we can agree on the way forward as a committee. But now we allow him to attend the other meeting. We have received the reports. We will communicate our direction to him. So I don't know if any member has any comment before I allow the governor to say something. Senator Mudama, you need to tell us about Morocco.
That's for another forum, Chair,
Yeah. But
it was good. Chair, I have just one clarification to get from the Auditor General's office.
Yeah.
Why Mombasa was not audited in the previous years, and what action they are supposed to take as Auditor General's office if they don't audit. I
thought we closed that matter.
I just want a clarification from them. Actually, that should not even hold the governor, but maybe even later I can get a clarification from them about that.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you, Chair and member. I think in our last engagement with this particular committee, the issue of failure to submit financial statements for hospitals in Mombasa, including Coast General Hospital, was raised and deliberated upon at length. And the governor was directed to prepare financial statements for the facilities, which I can confirm that he has now done. And we have availed officers to go and audit those financial statements which have been in arrears. They are about, there are 5 level 4 and Coast General Hospital. So we have audited them in arrears. And this was as a result of that particular deliberation in this committee. And again, as audit office, we wrote to the governor personally indicating that these particular facilities have not been audited. You have not prepared financial statements. And he responded positively and availed the same. Thank you very much, Chair.
Mine just is a light touch comment. The deputy party leader, as you go and engage on the other matters, ensure that the relationship is long-lasting with the other broad one.
Are you having any doubts? Okay, so maybe I will give it to the governor to make closing remarks.
I thank you for your indulgence, Chair, and committee members. But since we're here, you know, maybe not a good example of who said this, but someone once said, if you don't blow your own trumpet, who will? I'm glad with the support of both the Senate, the support of the teams at the county from both the Assembly together with the Executive. Today, Mombasa, in terms of health, we have been ranked as first, not by fiction, but by fact. When it comes to SHA rollover, Mombasa is amongst the counties that has absorbing equipment at an extremely decent rate in our facilities. The numbers who are actually visiting our health facilities currently is increasing. What that means is that we have not given birth overnight, but what that means is that those who used to go to private facilities are now opting for facilities that are public facilities, which is a very, very welcome move. The county government of Mombasa in this financial year hopes to be able to increase our allocation in putting up new medical facilities within Mombasa, so that at least every sub-county within the great county of Mombasa can have not just a level 4 that will just be considered in any other level 4, but a level 4 that is going to be way up there. I met with Senator Cheryl Gay on the way up, and I was telling him that there was a very, very viral video about Coast General, that it was leaking, something that was not true. But he did tell me that my senator was kind enough to clarify on that matter, and I want to thank him. Chair, with a lot of humility as well, we would welcome, so that you don't just look at these issues in terms of pieces of paper, but we would welcome you the next time you're in Mombasa to come and see what Mombasa has been able to do for its people. Secondly, Chair, when it comes to matters of water, we have been able to reach quite far. Engagement with both WASREB, engagement with partners. Yesterday I had a very long meeting with the team from World Bank regarding the projects that have been indicated here. Meeting that lasted, I think, till close to about 7 o'clock last night, where we have all agreed that all these World Bank projects, because they need to have closure, some of them will be finalized by the end of this month, and some of them by the end of October. And every contractor has actually committed themselves in writing on these matters. Chair, I also want to confirm, after a few changes that we were able to do in the department and a multi-sectorial approach, we have been able to see a decrease in non-revenued water, which was something that was actually put in this particular report by the auditor. We're going to be able to see way more non-revenued water reduction. The company is equally employing new GMs after the election by WASREB. There was an advert that was done, and we hope that the new GMs will be able to bring in a huge fresh ideas on how we are going to be able to do this. Something else that we are also contemplating on doing, Chair, is Mombasa has no water source, so we depend on water from counties that are outside. From those counties to where we are, there's been a lot of non-revenued water. However, it has always been the job of Coast Water to fix those pipes. We, because of our decent financial prudence, we are working with financial institutions to be able, after agreeing with Coast Water, we will fix those lines. Because currently, Coast Water depends on exchequer releases. But failure for exchequer releasing, we are the ones who get hurt. So we will fix the lines, and then at an agreed amount that this is acceptable, we sign an intergovernmental agreement where the amount of money we are meant to pay them gets deducted on the same. But ideally, the next time you're in Mombasa, I would like to invite you to see what it is that we are doing, so that next time when we go through audits, it becomes something that is. Thank you very much.
Senator Vaki.
Chair, I don't know I will differ, because for instance, Mombasa, we receive water from Mzima Springs. Now, the Coast Water delivers the water in Mazeras. And from Mazeras to Mombasa to our taps, that's the jurisdiction of the Mombasa Water and Sewage Services. Now, the problem, I think, which the auditor has picked is the non-revenue water within Mombasa, which the county government needs to fix. Because if I can see 1 billion shillings is a lot of loss, and you will never make a profit if you are running under debt of 1 billion. It cannot make any profit. So I think we should be able to start prudently first to fix our
piping within the county of Mombasa. Even the other day, I had a meeting with the Coast Water Services Board, and they talked of a new venture where somebody is investing from Malindi, Sabaki to Mombasa. Now, that investment will only be of help to the people of Mombasa if we are able to sort out the issue of burst pipes, illegal connections, and other avenues where water is lost before reaching the final client. I'm happy maybe you have introduced the smart meter, but the smart meter will not be able to cure the problem of loss of water before it reaches the client. It will only maybe cure the losses to the client, but for those which the company is suffering will not be able to be cured. Finally, the issue of the sewage, Chairman, raw sewer going into the sea. Apart from the Kipevo, which is under rehabilitation, there's also the problem of Chuda area, where a lot of sewage is being connected to the, is being released to the ocean directly. It's an issue that we need to fix, because now I'm talking as chair of the lands committee. Chair, I'm sorry. We need to fix it, because we cannot be a smart city when we are discharging our sewer into the ocean directly. We can never be a smart city. And that is one of the things that we'll need to gauge ourselves with as we transit to a smart city, and maybe other what we call global standards that will be measured when we are considered as a heritage or as a tourist city, and so on and so forth. Thank you, Chairman, for that.
Chair, maybe I could quickly, not respond, but a rejoinder on what my senator has indicated. One, yes, did Mombasa and were we having a problem on non-revenued water internally? Yes. Are we doing something about it? We're taking a multi-departmental approach to it, and we're already seeing positivity. Two, Chair, when we talk about water, the leakages that is out of Mombasa jurisdiction is because we're already losing that water. We might not be billed for it, but it is water that was meant to be for Mombasa. And we simply want to tap on the resources that are coming in. Two, Chair, I'm glad the Senator has raised the matter, and the county government of Mombasa has signed a very, very ambitious, if we were to handle the waste problem in Mombasa, Mombasa needed something about 17 billion. 17 billion. Maybe for avoidance of doubt, it's a billion, not million. The county government advertised, and we have awarded. And what we are basically doing, Chair, is one, this problem, we need to ask ourselves when it started. The line that used to be for Kizingo, which was handling Old Town area and handling part of Majengo, died 30 years ago. Actually 33. 33. The line at Kipevu died 13 years ago. So as a matter of fact, Mombasa, had it not been for the fact that we had oceans that regenerates and nature was kind, it would have been even a bigger problem. The question is, what are we doing about it now to fix a problem that had been there for many years? He's right about Chuda. And I think he knows more about Chuda because that's where he lives as well. But majority of the people who are given permits to build, and this is historic again, people who built 20 years ago, 30 years ago, instead of putting a septic tank with a biodigester, what they opted to do was connect on stormwater, which is a huge illegality. When we took office, we made a decision and said, block everything up. people who've bought some of those properties as a third buyer and a fourth buyer came crying and said, give us a solution. If you block this, then all the sewer goes back to our houses. And what we have now opted to do is, amongst the contract that we have signed, is to put a huge fecal treatment plant in Mwakirunge. 2, we have sent in regulations, which we have already gazetted, to ensure that every household compulsory has to have a bio digester. And with the contract that we have right now, is every household, we will figure out using utilities to bill every household. But in the extent what is going to happen is, so that people don't do things on an illegality, all you have to do is you will make a call to Moasco and say that my septic tank is full. At no extra cost, we will send in the trucks, because the contract involves supply of the septic tanks, the septic trucks, the honeysuckers. It involves building of the a huge system that is going to be at Mwakirunge. And one of the other things we are contemplating on doing, but that is going to be subject to doing a pressure test on the pipes of Old Town. What we intend to do is to revive Kizingo. If I'm able to revive Kizingo treatment plant, but you have to understand the pipes at Kizingo were fixed in 1930. So we have 2 jobs simultaneously. One is to ensure that the problems don't continue. 2 is to fix a problem that started 33 years ago. Was I able to do it within 1 year of being governor? I would have been a magician. Would I have been able to do it 2 years of being governor? I would have had to have prophetic powers, and then there would have been no procurement laws that were needed. Will I be able to do it in my first term as the governor of Mombasa? Yes, I will. And we intend to be able to start this from this month, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Governor. You know, it is our wish that our water systems in all our counties run efficiently, and particularly for big cities like Nairobi and Mombasa. We are looking forward to some level of efficiency and effectiveness in the management of water. This committee, Governor, has just returned from a 1-week benchmarking visit to Morocco, the country of Morocco. And we had a very amazing experience about city management, about management of water systems. The auditor was there as well with us, and we now see what we need to be doing here in Kenya. If you look at the management of water system, for example, the city of Casablanca, the non-revenue water is only 5%. Basically means no water is wasted. But 10 years ago, they were at 40%. So what is it that they did? And if you look around the city, for example, the city of Rabat, you see the physical planning that is there in terms of management of the infrastructure, management of social facilities, management of water, security. It is amazing. And one of the good things that we have come back with is that the cities of Rabat, cities of Morocco are willing to twin with our own cities. In Mombasa, you can take that advantage. And Amida can be helpful in that regard, so that even challenges you have around water, around physical planning, you can learn quite a lot of what they did within a short period of time to make the city look like another Europe within Africa. So the issue that Senator Faki has raised about the discharge of raw sewage, this is a challenge. We visited there as a committee, and we were given some promises by the contractor, which he has not honored. So I think this is a matter that, Governor, you need to take charge so that this matter is stopped. Then the auditors have also raised concern about the company situation. The negative working capital stands at about 1.9 billion shillings. That's not small money. So I think, again, I think some process needs to be done to find out how to reduce this working capital, negative working capital, from 1.9 billion to a manageable figure. And I know you can do it. Yeah? So maybe you can comment on that as well.
Chair, actually, the 1.9 billion are actually historic debts. These are debts from the time of municipal. What happened is when devolution took over, it came over as a big bang theory. Just get it done and then things will fall into place. 13 years after devolution is when IGTRC is actually gazetting assets that now belong to Moasco. 13 years after devolution. So probably even in the next report that you will be seeing, because in many cases when you're looking at the asset portfolio had not been put in these audit accounts. Secondly, majority of counties will be coming with a wish list to yourselves, because it takes two to tango. If they're going to say that the water company has to take over the debt, the water company then also supplied water to various government agencies. So first of all, they need to be able to agree either on doing a debt swap, or they need to agree on, and by the way, this is not just unique for Mombasa alone. Two, Chair, there's a conversation going on, and it's multi-approach. And maybe the Senate also needs to see on its wisdom on how to go about it. There's a suggestion that the tariff, power tariff for water, needs to be considered to be the same as power tariff for streetlights. Because the power tariff for water currently is as good as commercial. And water is a basic necessity as per the Bill of Rights. And if they are able to do that, then that means the cost of actually getting that water will be way less. The second alternative, of course, is they're now considering, Mombasa is one of the ones that is considering in some of our wells in Tiwi to do solarization at our own, because at least we have independent meters that we are paying. But maybe in the wisdom of the Senate, maybe to amend the Energy Act to include that water should be considered the same as streetlights were considered as security, and that was a right of every Kenyan, and water as well is a right of every Kenyan. Mombasa is going, actually, we've made the decision to go green. We don't want fights with the power company. Our main hospital is, we're just waiting for the e-procurement systems to go live, or something happens, a decision has to be made. And once that is done, Mombasa wants to now go to do the procurement for solarization of our TV boreholes, to do solarization of our hospitals and our main other facilities. But maybe that's a conversation we could have in detail, Chair. But equally, Chair, you mentioned about the contractor. I was with those contractors last night with our team still at 7 o'clock together with the World Bank, and I was not ashamed to say it, that even if it means if they do not honor their word, because these contractors were actually, these contracts were 8 years ago. There had been problems because some of the problems were caused by the tussle that had been there between National Assembly and Senate. Conditional grants were not coming in, so contractors were not able to be paid. Some of the faults, of course, are with the contractor. There's no doubt. Did Moasco have a bit of fault in it? I cannot umbrella them forever. They did have a bit of fault. But I did read the Riot Act in front of the senior leadership of the World Bank. The country director was with us. That in the event that these contractors, now that the money is there, if they do not, and I want to say this on record here, if they fail to honor, then Mombasa will be taking the lead through the Council of Governors, through the Senate, for these companies, together with their directors and their shareholders, to be blacklisted. Because we will not be held ransom because someone took a contract and they're unable to do it. I wish to say it here under oath in the Senate and on record. If these contractors fail to do what they signed on yesterday, if they fail, I will personally take it up with the Council of Governors, I will take it up with the Senate, and if need be with Treasury, for these companies and their shareholders and directors, after going through the CR12, that these people be barred from being given government projects. It's not a warning, it's not a threat, it's a reality. So thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much, Governor. I think because you had requested to leave, we will allow you to leave. And the honorable members, there being no AOB.
Chair, can I go on record?
Oh, you just come.
Yes.
You can go on record.
I joined late.
You are still nursing
I
the...
was still in Morocco time. Karibu sana, my brother, Governor. My name is Senator Hamida Kibwana, member of this committee.
Okay. So, honorable members, the meeting is adjourned until 2, when we are meeting Elgeyo Marakwet.